Alright, today we're going to do a review of the Kubey Monsterdog. This is a knife you're not going to want to miss. The Kubey Monsterdog. Very, very fitting name, I have to say. What I thought I was getting when I got this knife was something akin to, I don't know, a wee banter or something like that. You know, 3-inch blade, real nice ratio, comfortable handle, deep carry pocket clip, and so on. But what I got was what I think is the spirit animal of a pit bull. A lot of snappiness and built like a tank. I mean that. This thing is stout, really stout. I'll have some measurements of this thing down in the description. But my goodness, this is a big beefy knife for something that is only a 3-inch blade, and pretty much the entire length is cutting edge. And that's what I like. When they say 3-inch blade, it actually has a 3-inch cutting edge, and that is really appreciated. Now, from a weight perspective, let's just turn this on for a second. It's about 137 grams, or almost 5 ounces, basically, just under 5 ounces. So this is not one of those light carry knives. This is for really getting in there. And if you look up at the tip, it is a very, very, very stout tip. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is a flat grind, but if it is hollow, it's barely a hollow grind. I can't honestly tell if it is or isn't. If it's hollow, it's very shallow. So there's many ways you can grip this, whether you're putting your finger up here, there's jimping behind your thumb here. It has a nice palm curvature, so you can set it up there. You can choke up and hook your finger behind that edge and like draw a cut or scrape with it. And speaking of the steel here, 14C28. That is my absolute favorite steel when it comes to budget knives. And I'm so happy to see Kubey going to the 14C. Now, this is, as far as I can tell, the second knife in recent times that they've released in this steel, but I hope a lot more. When I reviewed the Royal, I really fell in love with it. Incredible drop, just great action, fit and finish, but D2 is not my thing. I would have loved to have seen it in 14C, and seeing that they're doing this now really gets me excited for consumers, because 14C has much, much better corrosion resistance and maybe 3 to 4 times as tough from the numbers. It's significantly tougher than D2. What you're going to lose is a little bit of edge retention, give or take about 20 to 30%. But you gain an edge that you can absolutely just go to town with, and the worst you're going to get is a roll that's relatively easy to fix. And when in a hard use knife that this appears to be, that just makes a ton of sense. So I really, really like this knife. I like the way it's cut. I like how, you know, you can get your fingers out of the way if you're cutting on a cutting board. You can kind of choke down here and start cutting things. You can chop with it to some extent. For a small knife, and it is a small knife when it comes to blade length, it's still very capable. I actually used this to prep lunch for my daughter, and it did a great job. It did a great job cutting up carrots and strawberries and grapes and so on. So it can do the job. And the fact that it's 14C means I don't have to worry about the corrosion either. I really, really like this knife. It's another great offering. But I think you might want to check some of the other reviews for this as well and see what they think, because it's not what I expected. Having something this stout and in this size, and still having enough room for someone who even has bigger hands than me. And I wear a men's size large. It's an interesting piece. It's definitely one of my favorites so far, and probably my favorite Kubey. If this was released in 14C, maybe that would take the cake, but as of right now, I do really like this knife. Definitely worth checking out. At $60, which is when it's running right now, I think it's on that top edge of budget knives, but fit and finish is very, very, very good. It has rounded edges, and these thumb studs just are phenomenal. So a lot of great finishing work here. Recessed screws, T8 construction here and here, T6 on the pocket clip, standoffs, hollowed out skeletonized handles, great drop shot action, just a phenomenal knife. I think this could take some serious abuse. I do wish, if I'm going to have one critique with this, if you're going to offer a hard use knife like this, I would have liked to have the option in the box of being able to transfer the bearings into washers, so that if I do decide to get this grimy, I won't get those caught into the bearings. That's one advantage of the washer setup. So it would be kind of a cool thing if they did what Petrified Fish does, which is include both in the box. I would have loved that, especially for a knife like this, which I think kind of begs to be used very, very hard. I mean, this is almost a prying tip. Not that I suggest you do this, but I'm much more confident prying with this than I am with many of the other knives. Now, this one's not bad, but you can still see quite a bit thinner. So well done. Well done. I really, really like this. Of course, this, once again, this is the Monsterdog. I will put a link down in the description. And I'm also going to be sending these two knives away to some friends who will also be doing reviews. So I'm curious to see their opinion as well. But so far, Kubey is really impressing me. I just want to see a lot more knives of theirs in this steel, 14C. Let's do it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk again soon.